Support for library-level invoicing, operator, and manager roles. Alma now enables new invoices to be associated with a specific library. Existing invoices created before this change are associated by default with the institution. Also, user roles invoicing operator extended, and invoicing manager can be configured for a specific library. Users assigned to a specific library can manage only invoices associated with that library. Users assigned to the institution can manage invoices associated with any library or with the institution. As with any other library level role, a user can be assigned to multiple libraries by adding a role for each library. Existing users before this change are associated by default with the institution. An invoice now includes an owner field, indicating the institution or library with which it is associated. A user can select the value for this field when creating the invoice. The field appears as a column and as a facet on any page that displays a list of invoices. To add a library level invoicing role to a user, when adding or editing the role invoicing manager, invoicing operator, or invoicing operator extended for a user, select the library at which the user can perform the role's function from the scope drop-down list. What we're going to do is we're going to enter the role we'd like to edit. This user has the relevant roles. Go to Actions, Edit, and choose the scope that you would like. Here you can choose a specific library, or if you want, choose the institution. Note that if the user previously was institution and then you reduce it to a specific library, then the user can no longer manage invoices that are assigned to him and that are out of scope. To manage the owning library or institution of an invoice, while creating an invoice, if I'm going to add one manually, which can be done by entering the Alma menu Acquisitions and then clicking on Create Invoice. Now a field that says Owner appears, and the only option I have is the biology library because that is the scope for which I'm restricted to. Proceed to create the invoice as usual. Now for users with an institution level scope, the drop-down list is set to the institution level by default. And users with a single library scope, the drop-down list contains only the library as seen here. If the user had multiple library scopes, this drop-down would contain all the libraries that would be enabled for that user. Note that this is a mandatory field. It cannot be skipped. A few other notes. When you select an owner, it restricts the list of vendors and vice versa to the owner. When you're importing, such as when you import invoices, they're associated by default with the institution. Another point is that while viewing, you can't view, edit, or have assigned to you invoices that are out of your scope. If you were to search for an invoice that's not in your scope, it simply will not appear. Hope you enjoy using this feature, and thanks for watching.